Blessings, this is Kenya from Euphoria. We are talking about emotional intelligence, how we come back together on today. Part 3, managing your ability to bring the relationship back together after you've got into a dispute or there's something that has happened. And so this is a 3-part series. Remember, we talked about 1, your ability to manage your feelings. Secondly, your ability to acknowledge the feelings of the other person. Today, we get to talk about your ability to manage the appropriate response that is not reactive to others and others' feelings, but it's gonna bring you together. Ecclesiastes 4:9 tells us 2 is better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. This is what our attempt is in the last part of emotional intelligence. We're trying to come together, reconcile, if you will, if it's possible, in order for us to grow from the occurrence or what has happened. It is so important for us to know emotional sickness is avoiding reality at all costs. But emotional healing is facing reality at all costs. That's what Peck tells us, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to avoid it, but we want to face it. So your ability to manage your responses is going to require 3 things from you. 1, you got to be aware of your goal. 2, you got to acknowledge that of others and their goals. And 3, you got to appreciate the timing. Let's talk about being aware of your goal. Remember, I talked to you earlier in one of the other series. It's important for you to know that you're an emotional scientist, not a judge, like Mark Brackett tells us in his book, Permissions to Feel. Your desire is to unify and to clarify, not stratify and separate, right? So you're wanting to come close to the person. You want to not bid yourself and separate yourself for the person. The desire in the end is to actually to come close. So that's got to be your goal in mind. You always got to have what your purpose is in the conversation when you're bringing yourself back together to manage your emotions. Number 2, your ability to acknowledge where they are and if they're even ready to bid and to come close and to discuss it. You want to take a look at like their physical cues, their body language. Are their hands kind of folded? Are they kind of distancing themselves from you? Is their bra looking angry? Are they looking tense, right? If their voice is elevated, you don't want to seek to elevate yours more, right? That's where the harm comes, right? You're wanting to seek not to match where they are, right? That's harmful energy, right? So if they're throwing and they're screaming, you don't want to do that. You want to do the opposite. You actually want to stay calm and speak slow. Remember, the Bible tells us we want to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Right? To discover the ways of being victorious over your emotions, you want to make sure that you see where they are and you don't want to respond to it if it's not going to be helpful, right? Every interaction you have with the person is an opportunity for you to grow, okay? Finally, your ability to manage the appropriate response and the timing of it is going to be very important. Timing is key. Mark Tupper says this: a well-timed silence has more eloquence than a speech. It's imperative and critical for you to remember to make the bid to advance toward them and not to push away from the person. You're wanting to connect, not separate. You want to halt if you think that you're too angry. Halt means too hungry, too angry, too lonely, or too tired. That means you or them. So you want to halt, right? Don't go if it's not the time, and you wait for the time to come so that you can come together. So again, It's important. It's important for you to recognize that your desire in your emotional intelligence is to bring you together, to reconcile, not to separate, and particularly if it's an emotionally healthy relationship. Again, I hope this series has helped you. It has been amazing to be able to impart on you the importance of emotional intelligence. It's the core of our relationships. It's going to help us to be kingdom minded and to be kingdom builders. And so if it has helped you, I hope that you share it. Share with another sister or brother, and subscribe and stay with us while we give you more powerful transformational information that's going to help you think better, see better, feel better, so your relationships get better. Let's go.